On the news tonight, President Tinubu swears in former Defense Chief Christopher Musa as new Minister of Defense. President Tinubu seeks Senate confirmation of IBA's 64 other nominees as ambassadors. Vice President Fatima says federal government will work with Imo State to improve investment opportunities economy. On the foreign scene, President Putin visits New Delhi as Russia and India seek to increase diversified trade. Good evening. This is the news at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Damilola Raphael. We begin with security matters. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in General Christopher Musa retired as the new Minister of Defense. Musa, a former Chief of Defense Staff, took the oath of office this afternoon at the Asa Rock Villa, Abuja. This follows his confirmation by the Nigerian Senate on Wednesday after a rigorous 5-hour screening. During the session, the former CDS was grilled over recent security lapses, including the controversial withdrawal of troops from Government Comprehensive Girls Secondary School, Maga, in Kebbi State, shortly before schoolgirls were abducted on November 17. He told lawmakers he would immediately set up a full-scale investigation into the troop withdrawal once he assumes duty. Musa's nomination follows the resignation of former Defense Minister Mohammed Badaro, reportedly on health grounds. The Defense Headquarters says troops deployed across the country rescued 318 kidnapped victims and arrested 74 suspects involved in terrorism, all theft, and other criminal activities in November. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, disclosed this during a briefing on military operations this afternoon. He revealed that 69 terrorists and their family members also surrendered to troops in the northeast within the same period. He added the troops prevented all theft valued at over 217 million naira and dismantled multiple illegal refining sites across operational areas. The Defense Headquarters commended the troops for their efforts and urged them to sustain the momentum while also appealing to the public to continue providing credible information to security forces. General Onoja further assured that the military high command was enhancing operational responses to emerging security threats and would continue efforts to restore peace. Staying with security, troops of Headquarters 6 Brigades, Nigerian Army, Sector 3 Operation Fast-Track have neutralized 2 bandits, destroyed hideouts, and arrested a key suspect linked to criminal activities in Taraba State. The Acting Assistant Director, Army Public Relations 6 Brigade Nigerian Army, Lieutenant Umar Mohammed, disclosed this in a statement today. According to the statement, on Tuesday, troops launched the deliberate clearance operation, codenamed Operation Staffing Wuta, across Shahid, Agia, and Tiozua villages in Takum local government area of the state. The operation, based on credible intelligence regarding armed groups operating within the Torta general area, was said to have resources in the arrest of a suspect, Tahiru Megari. In a related development earlier today, troops were said to have conducted a fighting patrol around Karim Lamido and its environs aimed at denying bandits freedom of movement. The statement disclosed that whilst moving towards Usmanu, the patrol came under fire from armed bandits. The troops repelled the attack and neutralized 2 of the armed men. The chairman of Omala local government area of Kogi State, Edibo Mark, has imposed the dusk to dawn curfew amid escalating security concerns in the council area. The curfew, which runs from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. daily, took effect on Tuesday and will remain in force until further notice. The council also announced 24-hour security surveillance and intensified patrols across all communities. In a statement this morning, Mark said the measure became necessary to protect lives and property following recent security breaches. He said the council will also place restrictions on religious activities, noting that public gatherings, including Maulud, Christian videos, and similar programs are suspended until further notice. The council chair added that festival fireworks have been banned, car worship centers are expected to keep services brief. Down south, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress in Oyo State, Wale Uriade, has been abducted by armed men in Ibadan, the state capital. It is gathered that the incident occurred around 7:06 p.m. last night at his office located at PJ Square Shopping Complex, Ilewure, along Iyano Ajanla Akala Expressway near New Garage, Ibadan. Eyewitnesses said the attackers arrived in a blue Micra vehicle with two occupants, a driver and an armed man, who forcibly seized Uriade and whisked him away in the same vehicle. In a statement issued in Ibadan on Thursday, the state chapter of the APC confirmed the incident and called for the immediate intervention of the Nigeria Police Force. Also reacting, a former Senate leader and chieftain of the party, Senator Teslim Folari, condemned the kidnapping, describing it as shocking and unacceptable. In a brief statement, the former lawmaker called on security agencies to intensify efforts to ensure Riade's immediate and safe rescue. In another development, President Bola Tinubu has forwarded to the Senate a request for the confirmation of 65 ambassadorial nominees, comprising 34 career ambassadors and 31 non-career ambassadors and high commissioners. The letter conveying the request was read on the floor of the Senate today by the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio. The list of non-career nominees features several prominent political figures, including former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, former Abia State Governor Okeze Ikpeazu, and a former presidential aide, Reno Omokri. Others are Senator Itai Nang, a former Enugu State Governor, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, Jamal Hakim, Bello Dambazao, Vice Admiral Ibo Kete, retired, and Senator Jimo Ibrahim, among others. Both lists, Senate's Committee on Foreign Affairs, which is expected to conduct the screening process and report back to the upper chamber within 1 week. The new list of 65 nominees raises the total number of ambassadorial candidates before the Senate to 68. 3 of them, Kayode Are, Aminu Dalhatu, and Ayodele Oke, have already been screened by the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs.
Appointments of career ambassadors / high commissioners designates. In accordance with the provisions of Section 171, subsection 1, 2C, and 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, as amended, I am pleased to present for confirmation by the Senate the underlisted 34 nominees as career ambassadors / high commissioners designate. For Abia State, we have Ambassador Nwabiola Ezenwa Chukwuemeka. For Adamawa State, we have Besto Maimuna Ibrahim. Anambra State, we have Enebeji Monica Okochukwu. For Bauchi State, we have Ambassador Mohamed Mahmoud Lele. For Bayelsa State, we have Endoni Sindov Paibi. For Borno State, we have Ambassador Ahmed Mohamed Mongunu.
Still in the Red Chamber, the Senate has passed through second reading a bill seeking to reduce extreme poverty and strengthen social protection systems through a nationwide social welfare service. The bill, sponsored by Senator Roger Uzo Kalu, is aimed at enhancing and consolidating existing social welfare interventions across the country. Leading the debate, Senator Kalu says the proposed legislation targets one of Nigeria's most pressing challenges, persistent and widespread poverty. He noted that despite numerous interventions over the years, millions of Nigerians continue to lack access to basic necessities largely owing to the absence of a central, coordinated, and data-driven institution to manage welfare programs. The proposal seeks to create the Social Welfare Service as a department under the ministry in charge of humanitarian affairs, with offices in all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The bill has been referred to the Committee on Public Service to report back in 4 weeks. Moving on, Vice President Kashim Shettima says the federal government is committed to partnering with Imo State to improve investment opportunities and accelerate economic growth across key sectors. Shettima spoke on Thursday at the Imo State Economic Summit 2025 in Owerri, themed Unlocking Imo's Economic Potential, Partnership, Investment and Innovation. The Vice President stated that the Tinubu administration is determined to work with the state government to unlock economic prospects and ensure communities benefit from sustainable development. He identified the state as a major pillar in Nigeria's economic diversification plan, with high potential for growth in technology, gas utilization, agro-industrial processing, and small and medium-scale enterprises. The Vice President noticed that national prosperity is only achievable when every state takes ownership of its economic direction. Senator Shettima further added that the Igbo are the greatest stakeholder in the Nigerian project.
The young people of Imo are creative, ambitious, and connected to the global knowledge economy. One gentleman, one of the anchors earlier described the Igbos as the Nigerian Jews. That credit goes to the late Ali Al-Amin Masrui. In his BBC program, The Triple Heritage, he mentioned that the Igbos are the Nigerian Jews, geographically mobile, economically enterprising, and educationally ambitious. The Igbo nation is an outlier nation, and the Nigerian nation is better within the Igbo as part of that dispensation. Our duty as a government and as a people is to give them the tools, the platforms, and the confidence to construct the future that awaits them. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I dare say that Igbo are the greatest stakeholders in the Nigeria project. Half of Abuja is owned by Igbo. Half of the population of Lagos is largely made up from Igbo. There is hardly any place in this country, if you don't see an Igbo man, you better run away from that place. If you don't see a Hausa man, you better run away from that place, because they go where opportunities abound. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to appeal to our leaders to come and invest.
Meanwhile, the President of Liberia, Joseph Boakai, has expressed strong confidence that Imo State can undergo significant transformations through innovation. President Boakai stated this on Thursday in Owerri, the Imo State capital, during the 2025 Imo Economic Summit hosted by Governor Hope Uzodinma. The Liberian leader at the event, which attracted top dignitaries from across the world, stated that the innovation can become the engine that drives Imo's transformation. He added that for Africa to progress, elections must not only be peaceful, they must also deliver development dividends to the people who elect their leaders. President Boakai also noted that Liberia shares several similarities with Imo State in southeastern Nigeria. Boakai further stated that Liberia's recent elevation to a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council is not only an honor for Nigeria, but for Africa as a whole.
Communities. Imo State possesses abundant economic potential, from agriculture to energy, from manufacturing to services, from mining to tourism. The foundations are already here. The next step is to build a stable, predictable environment where investors feel comfortable committing their resources. This includes regulatory clarity, streamlined processes, transparency, and a commitment to fighting corruption. In Liberia, we have taken bold steps to restore fiscal discipline, eliminate ghost workers, strengthen procurement systems, and modernize financial governance. As a result, our national budget has achieved $1 billion United States dollars just within 2 years, for the first time in Liberia's history, with 94% coming from domestic revenue source. This is a testament to what's possible when governance is strengthened. Imo State can similarly leverage reform.
Elsewhere, Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has presented a proposed 861 billion naira budget for the 2026 fiscal year, saying that it serves as a roadmap for transformation and a declaration that the state will rise stronger. The budget proposal was presented to the Zamfara State House of Assembly in Gusau this afternoon. The proposal bill has a capital expenditure of 714 billion naira, which accounts for 83% of the budget, while 147.27 billion naira was allocated for recurrent expenditure, which accounts for 17% of the budget. During the presentation, Governor Lawal stated that as a government elected on the promise of rescue, reform, and revival, his administration had worked tirelessly to restore trust in public institutions, rebuild critical sectors, and lay a strong foundation for sustainable progress. He stated that the budget was not merely a financial plan, but a political commitment to entrench stability in governance and accelerate the growth that the citizens yearn for.
Out of this budget, and indeed, the heart of the rescue mission is our capital expenditure plan. The 2026 proposal of 714 billion, which is 83% of the budget, marks a historic commitment to rebuilding infrastructure, strengthening security, revitalizing agriculture, and expanding opportunities for our growing youth. International development frameworks, including those advanced by the World Bank and International Monetary Fund, IMF, recommend that set pursuing accelerated recovery and growth allocate at least 40% of the budget to capital development. Zamfara's planned allocation surpasses this threshold by a wide margin, reflecting a deliberate and strategic choice to invest boldly in the future rather than merely manage the present. Under my leadership, Zamfara is moving away from a consumption-driven model to a development-driven economy, one that prioritizes schools, hospitals, roads, energy, as well as economic empowerment. This budget is not just a document. It is a statement of intent, a roadmap of hope, and a pledge to ensure that the rescue mission delivers tangible progress for every citizen in.
Still to come, Ribado says Nigeria, only country in Sahel with functioning democracy, needs protection. We will bring you more on this when we return.
War war, also known as Ekiti-Parapa War, was waged among Yoruba main ethnic groups which emerged from the ruins of the falling Oyo Empire that were desperate to replace the awesome powers hitherto wielded by the Alaafin of Oyo, the